Hello again, and welcome to another sit down and chat, man. It has been a long week. We are sitting here on a Friday, date ourselves the 25th of July, 2025.
Yes, sir.
And, as typical, man, on weeks like this, the, the back and forth of reflection all week has been really, really good. Talk about supporting each other, and there's some other folks that are part of this network that support what we're trying to do, man, individually. And at times, man, the challenges kind of all come together. Everybody's feeling the same thing, kind of, that particular week. Um, and so I want to specifically talk about something that you and I really spent some time on this week, man. And you have kind of a real life story. You can give as much details or as little details as you choose.
Sure.
But man, I want to really start unpacking the topic of forgiveness. So, obviously, man, everybody knows what forgiveness is. We all have different mindsets and thoughts about how to approach it. But, you know, the reality of forgiveness versus the practical application of forgiveness can be very different, man.
100%.
And so, to kick the conversation off, what you and I spent some time talking about, over the last, I'd say, 2 weeks was this concept of releasing. When we carry um, pain, spite, um,
Anger.
anger, directed at a thing, an event, a person, um, the amount of space it occupies in our heads, man, can become overbearing. You start acting a certain way, living a certain way, thinking a certain way, hoping and praying that that will um, resolve itself. But the reality is, man, it's kind of ever present because we're holding on, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I want to start that conversation with you today, man. And let's just see where it goes, man.
Yeah.
So what's your thought? What's your thought on that conversation, just generally speaking?
Yeah. I mean, you say, you mentioned that it takes up so much space in our minds.
Mm,
Sometimes we don't even realize how much space it's taking up,
yeah.
right? We don't even know how much it's weighing on us. And I thought, going back to even what the practice that we went on this week. When I mentioned it to you, I didn't think that I had as much anger built up.
Mm,
Then um, I'm resetting on the inside, man, because again, I'm going back to
mm-hmm.
the event and I'm thinking about it to even come forward to talk about this. But you invited me to send a text to somebody that I was holding anger for. And your words were, Gerren, send a text releasing that person of, it wasn't the responsibility, but it was like release. I think you can say it better, man, because I've struggled even though I did it, I struggled.
No, I mean I want you to say it, man. Audience is
So
always used to hearing me. So say it.
yeah, okay. So you talked about releasing the energy. It seems like that part of it that was something that I needed to do, and you were telling me to release that person um, of what they were carrying. Um, just James, I'm struggling, bro.
Yeah. So let me help out. So the concept was it was very clear. You were sharing with me at the moment another interaction you had with the person, and you were
Yeah,
talking and thinking about some of the things you're going through now. And in your mind and in your words, it was tying back to the pain this individual inflicted on your family, right?
yeah,
And so the challenge to release was for you to release the energy that you were spending on that emotional connection to him
that I got.
because there's a tether, right?
Yeah,
There's a tether that you've attached to him that
yeah,
says, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, you did something to me.
yeah,
And the manifestation of that, man, was still very clear in your, in kind of your day to day. For the audience, man, how long have you been carrying this? Just give some perspective.
2 years.
So for 2 years,
Yeah,
you've been walking around with this feeling of I've been burdened, I've been wronged. Um, so much else has happened in life since then, right? And but yet and still, we look back and we can hold tie back to that event and say, man, that that really was the thing that turned, that got you to where you are. So again, go back to that moment and
Yeah.
just share a little bit more with the audience about how you came in, how you processed that idea of releasing, and then
Yeah.
what's going on since
So
then.
okay. So you asked me to do this thing, and when you said it first, I received it. I didn't fully accept it, but I received it, right? Because I know with this whole growth mindset that we're on, this journey that we're on, I'm always open to the challenge, right? To become a better human.
Yep.
The following day, I woke up, I was doing my devotions, and I remembered what you said. I had my phone in hand, and I was like, just go ahead and write the text. And I began to write it, but deep within, I wasn't feeling like I was releasing this thing,
Right.
right? And I struggled with it, and then I closed my phone out, deleted it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it today. The following day, I'm in the gym, and I'm there with Curtis. We're working out, and something compelled me to say, like, do it now. So I went ahead and I wrote the text. I showed it to him, and I said, I'm going to send this text ahead of my belief.
Mm.
Okay, God help my unbelief. I sent it ahead of my belief, and I closed out my phone and walked away. And I told him, listen, I told him what I told him. He wrote back and he says, listen, Gerren, I apologize that it's taken longer than I thought. Um, don't let go of me. I want to make this right so that we can rekindle our friendship. I let it go, so I didn't even respond to that text. I went to church. I mentioned it in church because we were talking about forgiveness. I mentioned it in a discussion group that I'm a part of. And people came up to me and they started to say that they too are struggling with forgiveness, right? And forgiving people and anger that they hold and so forth. So they said, thank you for sharing that. And I told them, I said, yo, you invited me in on this thing. This wasn't something that I was totally committed to. And I'm still struggling with it. But just yesterday, out of the blue, and this is only probably a week later,
Mm.
this gentleman reaches out to me and he says, Gerren, hey, listen, man, I need some information so that I can start the process of making this right with you. And he, as of today, he has taken a step. I still don't know how I'm receiving this.
Mm.
I'm just letting it be.
Mm.
How do I feel on the inside? As I'm talking about it, this is the reason why I'm struggling right now, man, because I realize even as I'm talking about it, there's still something. It may not be anger, but I'm seeing how God is working when I have made the decision of forgiving this person or releasing this person, how things have transpired since. So I am being observant, but I'm also respecting how God works. And no highs, no lows, just, that's interesting. Okay. I released it. And then within a week's time, something showed up. It's a beautiful experience. I'm just here for right now, man.
Was your emotions different between the time you took the act of releasing it
Hmm.
and then effectively yesterday when he
Hmm.
said, "Hey, can you give me some information so that I can start the process of making it right?"
Yeah.
Did you notice a difference in that time period and how your emotions were connected to it versus prior to the releasing action?
So as part of that act, that event that I did, I also picked up the idea of trusting God in the word where he talks about don't worry about tomorrow, because
Mm.
tomorrow has its own problems, right? So I took both of them because if I'm releasing it, then I'm not worrying about tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yep.
So I've been just focusing on today and using all of the energy that I now have, the real estate that has now opened up in my brain.
Mm.
I'm now focusing solely on today. And what I've noticed in doing so is I'm compressing time. Like I'm getting more done within a shorter period of time because I've opened up that real estate.
Yep. Hmm.
That focus, again, not worrying about tomorrow, beyond this event with this gentleman, is just I'm now practicing, I'm now training to just follow what the word says and trust it by focusing solely on today. And what that has been doing, James, is I have been able to see the ram in the thicket. I've been able to see solutions to today's problems,
Right.
not tomorrow's problems,
Right.
but just today's problems. I'm like, yo, things are showing up, which tells me that they were always there.
Always.
But my brain, my mind was taken up with this other stuff.
So, said differently, the ability of, well, the impact of carrying that burden, carrying that baggage for 2 years. You see how it was limiting you after you took the act of release. You said you haven't even fully really embraced it, but you took an act.
Yeah.
And that act has already manifested to you clarity and the ability to focus in a way that you weren't feeling before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Gerren, man, I mean, obviously 2 years is a long time. I could tell by the way you described it that this is clearly a financial situation.
Yeah.
Do you feel like over this 2 year period, because obviously other things happened in your life, circumstances other than this, given how you were preoccupied with this for 2 years, do you look at those past 2 years now differently and say, man, I probably wasted some time?
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe talk about that for a minute.
I was talking to God and trying to find out, like, why is this season lasting so long? And you and I, we've spoken. Listen, for the audience out there, listen, when these sit down talks after a long week, man, they are real. And it's heavy, the work that we do. We challenge each other to really do some deep work. So I apologize for how I'm coming across, but I am feeling this is the result of the work, man. This practice this week has been tough. It's been tough, man. Anyways, so you asked, like, okay, the 2 years. Yes. So I have wasted time. I've wasted time holding on to something that I actually thought that I had done a really good job of, like, suppressing. I really thought that I had done a good job of it. But I realized that it was still taking up space in my mind. And the way, just how this week has gone by and how much I've been able to do day by day and how, like, all the revelations of just day by day this week, man, if I was doing that before. So what I've done is I've looked forward. Some of you may know that Hulk Hogan has died, right? I think they said he was 71.
71.
Okay, I'm 47. I started doing the math. I did the math today, James. And I'm like, yo, okay, all right. If I had that amount of years left, the way that I was doing things, man, that's short. But the way that I've done things this past week, I'm like, yo, I could do a lot. I could do a lot because if I'm just focused on today, there's so much joy, there's so much abundance in just one day. So this is the way now that I want to live, which is wild to me that I have made such a transformation in such a short period of time for something that's beautiful, but I've wasted so much time. I'm not judging myself. I'm just like, this is great. This is interesting, God. You tell me just focus on today, and I can see all. So that's where I'm at right now, man. This week, it's just been 5 days. And we're not even completed the 5th day, man. But I've done a lot, externally as well as internally. And God has shown himself to me in both ways. And I'm exhausted.